Straitjaket by Eric Bersneck. The screams of the siren diminished into blank noise. Pacing back and forth, disappearing and appearing at will, yet with consistency, the figure reminiscent of a wraith dissipated into a figure of the subconscious, existent yet not truly there. Leavenworth, Gary. The nurse still hasn't called me. A precise, annoying sigh signaled but a milestone in what seemed an eternal wait. An accident with acid left my hands in gauze and resigned me to a profoundly boring emergency room. Only the pendulum of an antiquated clock, of no explanation to why it's here, and my shaking leg provides entertainment, despite the waiting having anesthetized any need for pleasure. The already emaciated figure of the room's heat was beaten in by the cold, constricting my arms together like a straitjacket to keep warm. Burnett, Chris. I finally heard the only siren call I wished to heed. Relief only manifested itself in acknowledgement. I was shocked by a shove from behind, as a nurse pushed wayward the wheelchair I had not known I was in. Advancing from the tomb into the catacombs didn't do much for the temperature, only creating a further sense of restriction and constraint. A sharp right turn into the doctor's office introduced me to a tall, balding figure. The doctor. Hi, I'm Dr. Rubin. We'll just be doing a standard assessment this time. I just have a few questions for you. The questions drifted, far from the grasp of my memory. I gave simple, mindless answers for all these pointless questions about my medical history, the accident, and the like. The repetition teased and teased the floodgates of my temper, driving me to anger. This is the right emotional response. Everything the doctor is saying is of little relevance. I stormed out of the doctor's office in anger, infuriated by the nerve of the doctor to ask such silly questions. In my near tantrum down the hallway, the only difference from before was the heat. It had returned to its youthful, lively state, and I did not need to bond myself to stay warm. I stomped through the emergency room, the siren's drone continuing. I slammed the door to the outside and tasted the fresh air, untouched by the taste of solvent and sanitizer. One look back couldn't hurt, no? Beyond my rational faculties, I took one glance at the hospital behind me. A terribly surprising vision appeared in its place. An awful siren was blasting its ghastly, monotonous tune. A security guard lay mangled, his head skull bashed in and his gray matter scattered on the concrete by the work of his own baton. A prison tower stood as a belfry, its height contrasting the guard's corpse, clinging firmly to the ground as an infant to its mother. Most prominently stood an illuminated sign to the right of the road I stood on. Institute for the Criminally Insane. A straitjacket enveloped my arms, my hands free. Of course, this was only a vision. The accident must have made me delusional.